Welcome back to Badass Women 50 Plus. I am Robin Lane, 88 years of age, psychotherapist, creator, and producer of this show, and my co-host, the young and beautiful Maria Sikora, is off making a movie. As you know, the women that we showcase are those who have overcome significant challenges, and as what woman hasn't, so maybe you could be a guest on our show, and they have gone on to be victorious. Today, instead of one guest, I will be interviewing two, and each in completely separately as they are in unrelated fields. However, the commonality is that each took the road less traveled in midlife, and both are at work creating their own artistic style, one in the field of photography and the other as a stand-up comic. They also share a passion for the truth. So I'm going to shut up now and introduce our first guest, the very funny lady, Felicia Madison. Welcome, Felicia Madison. Okay, we're going to have no time for chit-chat. We're going to cut to the chase. I want you to tell me how, at the age of 50, you decided to become a stand-up comic.
Well, I was always looking for something to do and never did it. And then someone asked me, why do I think stand-up stuck? And it occurred to me, with stand-up, you don't need a business plan or a partner or money. All you need is yourself and a lot of guts.
Okay, let's go to one of your stand-up routines.
Yeah, I was born Felicia Joy Madison, and I got married, and the joy left my life. I became Felicia Madison Levy. Don't really like Levy. I particularly hate that people are always asking me how to spell it. They're like, is it an I or a Y? I'm like, really? It's a Y. Jewy. So I studied hard, I went to a good college, and I succeeded the old-fashioned way. I married my boss. I didn't marry my boss. He wouldn't leave his wife. But don't judge. Back then, it wasn't sexual harassment. It was a weekly review. Just my luck. I'm finally in a career where I can just sleep my way to the top, and it's not allowed. But I'm happy this Me Too women movement, now for my daughters, now they'll never find a husband. I did end up marrying a really rich, nice guy. But it was hard work. It took me 3 years to get him to propose to me. Yeah, and I had to be in my best behavior that entire time. Cooking, cleaning, swallowing. I'm kidding, I'm a nice Jewish girl. I don't clean.
I love your routine on dating apps, but it does get a little raunchy. So I want to ask you something. Have your kids seen your show?
My older kids have. My teenager has never seen me perform. And I just say that, as a teenager, your mother's always embarrassing, and this is just extra added embarrassment for her.
Let's show that part of your routine.
Any single guys in the audience? No? I have a 26-year-old daughter I'm trying to get rid of. No? She looks like me, she acts like me, and I can't stand her. She's on the dating apps. Anyone meet on a dating app here? Dating app? No? Dating app? No? No one admits it, but they're very successful. She's on Bumble, the one where she gets to pick the guy. And I'm like, she can't pick a melon. How is she gonna pick a guy? And then why are there no reviews? Like, there are reviews for everything. Okay, doctors, restaurants, Uber drivers get reviews, right? So I'm gonna institute reviews, and it's gonna be like, girls, when you purchase something online and you have to return it and you have to give a reason. So it's about, I'm putting this man back into the pool. Reason, Doesn't look like picture. Reason, arrived damaged. Reason, too small. And I decided after a while that it's just like they got it all wrong. I'm gonna create an app for you guys. I think we go back to the time that the mothers pick.
Yeah.
Yes? I mean, you have a picture, first of all, okay? Totally useless. You all look the same in the end, bald and fat, so, like, who cares? I'm gonna have, so you just list 3 things, okay? Your income, your height, and your real height. Yeah. You market products wrong, okay? Especially when it's for women. Like, for instance, there's something called a vibrator, right? They looked at it. What should we name this? It vibrates. Let's go with vibrator. I mean, could you think of like 20 things that would be more attractive than that? What would you name your vibrator? I would name mine Not My Husband.
Okay, you have another side, a serious side. And in your one-woman show, we have taken out excerpts in which you talk about your beloved father. And I don't want to say one single word about it because I want our audience to see it. So let's go to video.
This is my dad, Leon. He grew up in the Bronx when the Bronx was the Bronx. That's my mom. Her name's Joby. She grew up on the Lower East Side when the Lower East Side wasn't cool. One night in a dance hall in Manhattan, they met, and my dad swept my mom out of an unhappy childhood and swept her into an unhappy marriage. They got married, they struggled. My dad worked 7 days a week at back-breaking labor. Our wedding night was pretty close to perfection, because my in-laws paid for it. My favorite part was the father-daughter dance. It wasn't your typical dance, no. My dad led me across every inch of the dance floor, twirling and spinning me. I felt like Cinderella at the ball. And then, the grand finale, the big tip. He dropped me. We all had a big laugh at the time. What we didn't realize back then was that this was the beginning of my father's Parkinson's disease. One day, she dragged my father along with her to an art class. The teacher in the class noticed my dad sitting there very bored, and he handed him a hunk of clay. My dad took the clay and started molding his big, burly, greasy hands over the clay. He looked up at his wife, down at the clay. Up at his wife, down at the clay. He was so engulfed, he didn't notice the teacher and the class gathering around with their mouths opened. When he finally looked up and took his hands away, he too was amazed to see a perfect bust of his wife. Good story, right? Way to go, Dad! This began a lifelong passion for him. He began studying with artists. He went to visit museums and quarries to pick out stone. He won numerous awards and even appeared on the cover of the New York Times. Yes, the New York Times. Dear Diary, I am 49 and my dad is dying. I wish I had told him that I loved him more and that I was proud of him. My dad lay dying somewhere in the middle of New Jersey in a hospice facility. Yeah, I know, I'm a bad daughter who lets their father die in New Jersey. Mrs. Levy, your father was being violent and we had to sedate him with morphine. He wasn't being violent. That's his normal behavior. And he's hungry. He hasn't eaten. He wants a muffin. Can we get him a muffin? Mrs. Levy, when you're in hospice and sedated on morphine, we are unable to feed the patients as we fear they can choke to death. You're fucking kidding me, right? You're starving him to death and you're worried he's gonna choke on a muffin? Get him a muffin! Get him a muffin now! He got the muffin. I grabbed his hand. The hand that was once so strong. The hand that heaved heavy machinery, tied my skates tight, and led me across the dance floor. These hands, for most of my life, were an embarrassment. I didn't see the greatness in them. All I saw were the tattoos on his arms, the grease put underneath his fingernails and ingrained in the creases of his skin. I leaned over and whispered in his ear, "You deserve better than this, Daddy. I'm sorry. I love you." That was the last time I saw my father.
Okay, Felicia, we're back and we're going to say goodbye. Anything you want to add?
That video is amazing. What an amazing story. Who is that? Oh, wait, that's me. Someone make a movie out of it, please.
Goodbye, Felicia. I cannot wait to get to New York and to go to, you're at the West Side Comedy Club?
Correct.
West Side Comedy Club to see Felicia Madison.
Thank you so much for having me.
Remember, we are on the last Tuesday of every month. So, see you next time.